Nolan, you're up next, please, and thank you. You've all been an incredible audience again tonight. Again, we're packed to the roof, literally, and it's just, thank you for coming. Yeah, it's just really, really cool. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Oh, but it was good? All right. Okay. I have two pieces tonight. One of them is very short. One of them will bore you to tears. Okay, first of all, I would like to give you the first poem that I have written since high school. So this is some event. It, too, is based upon my experiences in Korea. And it goes like this. The title: A short poem about being a 2-meter-tall white man in a South Korean zoo. When you are a 2-meter-tall white man in a South Korean zoo, they don't look at the animals, they all look at you. Okay. Yeah, the other thing I have here is a story. I wrote it a while ago. I didn't read it at the last one because it contains the POT word, which I've kindly omitted. But no, it's still very relevant for Terry's T-shirt today, given what day it is in other parts of the world. Yeah, okay. This is still too high. What have you done to me, Sarah? Okay. Too high! What was that about being too high? Okay. Okay, so this is just called Bar Story. Saturday night. I hadn't planned on going to the bar, and only an hour before I had been in my apartment, lying on my back in the dark, watching the room gradually fill with smoke from my cigarettes. I was thinking about company and wishing I had some. And I was also thinking over definitions of existentialism and observing to myself what a mistake it was to choose that as a personal philosophy all those years before. Mostly, I was just lying there being sad and angst-filled. Friedrich Nietzsche said that if you stare long enough into the abyss, then the abyss will stare into you. I say, if you stare long enough into a darkened ceiling, you start wanting to sleep with your ex-girlfriends. And that's when I decided I had to get out of there, because really the last thing anyone should do on a Saturday night is lie on their back smoking cigarettes in the dark thinking about their exes. Let me set the scene for you. I'm at the bar. There's a band playing and a big crowd is there to watch. All the in people. You might say the scene was present, which really does not make me feel very comfortable. The lineups at the bar are very long, and squadrons of heavily made-up bar girls are circulating with their neatly printed jock counterparts. It all makes me feel terribly unfashionable, as if I accidentally made eye contact with one of these cyborgs, they would just snort "dork" and flick a cigarette butt in my face. Seriously, cool people scare the shit out of me. Man, you be a geek in high school and you carry that shit around for the rest of your life. Anyway, I'm there and the band is awful. The lead singer is doing this ridiculous Sid Vicious impersonation, trying to be a really shocking fellow. And what's worst of all is that the crowd is eating it up. In between sets, I'm hanging out near the back, drinking a Canadian and generally panning the audience, trying to see if I recognize anyone. Out of the crowd comes Alan. Just about everybody knows someone like Alan. He's 30 years old. He looks 50. He's skinny, but not healthy skinny. He's gaunt skinny. He's got this limp, greasy black hair, and the way it lies on his head, he reminds you of an old black and white photograph of a lowlife from the 50s. Alan is a drinker and a pothead. He's a substitute math teacher by profession, and when that doesn't make ends meet, he works night security at a fertilizer plant. Alan's an example of the many intelligent, capable people out there who are simply too seedy to get ahead in life. "Hey, how's it going?" he says. "All right. What's going on?" "Not much. Who are you here with?" "Well, who am I here with indeed?" "Just hanging out," I say. "Cool. Want to go outside for some smoke?" I follow Alan, but instead of heading outside, he heads to the stairs and we go up to the second floor of the bar. "I go to grab my friend," he says, and I mutely nod and sip the beer I'm carrying. He leads me to a clutch of girls and whispers in the ear of one of them. She turns to join us and we head back downstairs. The girl is very pretty, with black hair tucked behind her ears and ice blue eyes set in a smooth white face. I'm certain I've seen her before, but for the life of me I can't remember where. We all exist in this massive, floating cast of characters where everyone is guaranteed to be a friend of someone you know, but I'll be damned if everyone can ever always remember everybody. More than likely I'd seen her around the university or at a house party, but who really knows? The bouncer at the door says I can't take my beer outside, so I quickly pound the remainder and leave the empty on a convenient table. When I get outside, Alan and the girl are already heading around the corner of the building. I feel like a clown for falling behind, and I jog to catch up, suddenly feeling more like a nerd tagging along with the cool kids and less like an invited friend. We get to a hidden spot in the alley, and Alan stops and starts to fumble through his pockets for his materials. I turn to the girl and say in my friendliest manner, "How's it going?" "Good. How are you?" "Good." I extend my hand. "I don't think we've met." "Yeah, we have," she says. "Oh." I put my hand down. "A couple of times," she says. "Oh." We stand in stupid silence and watch Alan fumble. "I was probably drunk, right?" "No, one time you weren't." "Well, anyway," I say, "I'm sorry, but I can't remember your name." "It's Tabitha." "Evan," she says, and I imagine that had we been comic book characters, there would have been icicles hanging down off of her word bubble. Alan finishes packing his tiny black pipe and lights up. He has a few and passes to Tabitha. She holds it with both hands, and he holds the lighter for her. I watch her, and I feel like a jackass, not specifically for forgetting her name. That happens all the time. It happens to everyone, but more for unintentionally pissing off a pretty girl I don't even know. She is pretty, after all. There's nothing better for the old self-esteem than pissing off the beautiful. Alan repacks and sends it my way. I get a good head charge as soon as I smoke. We keep passing it around, and Alan and Tabitha talk and joke with each other, but I mostly stay quiet. It occurs to me that to justify my inclusion in the session, I should be talking and laughing and making them laugh, but I feel so put in my place that I don't say much of anything. We finish up and head back into the bar. The band is all ready to start their second set. Tabitha says she's heading back upstairs, so she says a warm thank you to Alan, complete with hug, and a quick see you later to me. I admire her as she begins to ascend the steps, because she's wearing a tight skirt that squeezes her ass into a beautiful heart shape. I shake my head and go to get another drink. I lose track of Alan in the crowd, and in the back of my mind is the dark worry that he is the picture of what I may one day become. Alone again, I dance and drink and watch the bad band. When they finish, neither Alan nor Tabitha are anywhere in sight, but I get into a chance conversation with another girl. I have to admit that I'm sloppy drunk and high when I start talking to her, but I say something clever and make her laugh, so she stops and talks to me. Partly to humor me, and partly because I'm a cute drunken clown to her, I amuse her, so she banters with me. She's beautiful, very beautiful. Beautiful enough that under normal circumstances I wouldn't bother talking to her, but I'm drunk, so I'm fearless. We chat about the club at first, the type of dive where people just come out to be seen and be part of the crowd, and everyone here is so shallow and stupid, but oops, we're here too, aren't we? We talk for a few more minutes before she leaves, telling me that her friends are going and that she has to be off. We shake hands and exchange obligatory statements such as, nice talking to you, and see you around. What was actually said doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter that we didn't exchange names. Neither of us would have remembered them anyway.
Okay. Tonight we have the most people reading ever in Pusan Poetry Plus history. It's awesome. 23 tonight. For that reason, we are just going to keep going. We're not going to have a break tonight. So what I'm going to ask is, if you got to pee, just tiptoe quietly to the bathroom. If you want to chat with your friends because you're bored or just need to stretch, just zip outside. Because that would be really, really great. It shows like decent respect for the reader. And speaking of readers, our next reader is Ken. Ken's in the house. Sorry. Cool. Okay. This Ken, I believe, is a first-time reader tonight. 1 of 7, which is so incredible. We're pretty happy about that. So, lend your ears to Ken. Just keep showing the audience, or keep showing the readers respect, and enjoy yourself.
Hey, I don't know about you, but I think it's time to go take a piss. What I want to do here, I got a couple of poems, a couple of China poems. The first one is called The Night Magician. And it begins with a quote from Pusan. Do you know who Pusan is? Of course not, huh? A 14th century ghost story collector and writer. That one, yeah. So the poem begins with a quote from Pusan Ling, which says, "How foolish are the people of this world! That which is truly bewitching, they senselessly believe to be enchanting." The Night Magician. He's disappeared now and left you with his devices. A starry red box as hollow as a witch's hat. A two-faced coin, its emblem rubbed beyond recognition. A white scarf made out of whole cloth. And a memory of a night as dark as deep indigo, as sweet and brief as a child's sadness. He's disappeared in the dawn light, as quick as a sleight of hand. Hands like moving targets. Hands that read your cards. Hands that stole your fingerprints. Hands that kept his tricks and disguises secretly out of reach. China poem. Are you familiar with the Chinese poet Du Fu? Du Fu? Not at all, not at all. Huh? You know tofu? Okay. Du Fu, Du Fu was a Tang Dynasty poet who spent a life that was typical of poets. He passed the examinations and went to work for the officials and spent the rest of his life, after he got his ass kicked out, trying to make his living the best way he could. This is called Dreaming of Du Fu's Death on the Shangjiang, 770. The river in China. A hungry ghost dances on this bitter river. A slow, sharp rain falls in needles. Near the shoreline, a red loaf burns with fever. In Laoyang's faraway fields furrows a red stain with peasant's blood, full of bleached bones instead of grain. Children's mouths are mulberry stained. That's all they have to eat, if they are the privileged. My young son was not among them. Buried for 15 years now in Fengxian County. He starved while behind red gates meat was thrown away. Outside red gates I'm forced away. They say I'm famous for my words, but not to officials. The Shangjiang, all mist and flames. My final journey? Come closer, my haunted one. Do you care to hear the ragged gull's high, shrill cry? The wind blows my illness away.
All right, like Sarah said, everyone's been super, and I appreciate it, and we appreciate it. If anyone's just interested in being a World Cup volunteer, please speak to Veronica Che. She's sitting over there, very beautiful woman with long hair and a ponytail. You get self-satisfaction and a used car. How about the used car? Hail Satan! We have a motif for the night. Hello. Next up, Hail Rain. Hail Rain.
I write a lot about Korea, like all of us do, and they're wanting to question me about the eating dog over there in the corner. I don't know if I got myself in trouble, but it's a very curious thing about doing this. I've been doing it a long time, reading in open mics, in open public places, in bars and cafes, etc. It never gets any easier. Chore. There are days when doing the dishes feel like facing a firing squad. I tell myself they're only dishes, but feelings are not easily fooled. There they are, all lined up in the sink like men in a death squad, waiting to aim their filthy rifles, itching to pull their dirty little triggers. I tell myself, you take little things too seriously, but feelings have their way. I hide at my computer to escape. I refuse to eat or enter the kitchen. The dishes might see me. They're conspiring against me with awful odors. They're plotting stains against my porcelain sink. They are not to be trusted. I wait until they're not looking, then gather them up and throw them out in one big black trash bag, and I feel okay again. I have beat them. I'm a winner. I sit back a happy consumer, imagining happy patterns I can buy at Kmart, perhaps sunflower patterns on new dishes that won't threaten me as much. I am again a proud American postmodern man. I sing, I eat, I cook again. I can say nothing made a wimp of me, and quite contentedly smile. There's a place called Songjin Castle, Songjin Song, somewhere near Jinju where I live, and it has some historic significance. I saw a sign there that talked about the tomb of ears and the tomb of noses, and it was in the springtime. There were a lot of cherries blooming, so I wrote this song, or wrote this poem. Tomb of Ears. In the last light of March, under cherry trees, near the tomb of those lost in the battle of Songjin Castle, yet another tale of the cruelty and kindness of men. The Japanese hacked off the noses and the ears of the dead, took them home, proof of a battle won, souvenirs of a war. The Koreans buried fathers and sons in a common grave and mourned. Years later, a Buddhist monk pleaded for the return of the stolen remains. Japan relented and gave in. The grave is now called Tomb of the Noses and Ears. Under a large tree, in a snow of blossoms, the teller, a Korean friend, looked at me and said, "Only the oldest trees know the sorrow and joy of the blossom." Pretty soon we're going to start hearing the buzz of the cicadas again, those noisy creatures that I like so much. And I thought for a long time about them. I looked a lot of information up about them on the internet, like why are they making all this noise? Why, constant noise all day long? And I found out that that is a way of their calling mates. So it's a love song. And I listened to it for a long time and wrote this poem called What the Cicada Are Saying. There's a method in the music, the buzz filling the trees, a rattle, a scream, the clicking and the ringing of cicadas. Where some leave off, others pick up the cantos of love, a hum like a dream that is all of summer and 17 years. Here, here, I'm the one, I'm the best. Here, here, I'm the one, forget the rest. It's an old serenade, it does not let up, it defends, drives off birds that come to make an easy meal of them. It assails fox, wasp, raccoon, boy with butterfly net. In the end, all the songs whirl into oblivion. Their bodies wash up into rain gutter or trail, dried up, cried out shells of what they were. Other singers come to a coffee shop in town, worn thin by years of blinding night labor, soul broken, lost, jubilant, newly in love, sick of love, but madly in love with sound, looking to bend an ear, the poet's violin. Autumn and an open mic are about to begin. Thanks. I wrote a good one. Oh my God. I try to do serious stuff and then some other stuff too. This actually got published in a thing called Thunder Sandwich, which I was so happy to get into because I like the title of the journal, Thunder Sandwich. Like, ooh. And it's called Watercress and Greens. Word has it, you reap what you sow. Good deeds get good deeds, bad, bad. What goes around comes around. You'd better not shout, you'd better not. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Trust me to give you the straight scoop. Try to see it my way. There's a hole at the bottom of the sea, and all the seaweed and fish are flowing out to nowhere. Oh no, we can't have that. Not on a Wednesday or any day banks are open. Think of the world and all the cats. How hard for them the idea that the only remaining fish are those in a few private freezers worldwide. Oh no, we can't have that. Don't think it. Don't dream it. Don't you think that would make a pope or a president sit up and take some notice, do some good for a change here and there? Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job or stop praying or practicing yoga. If you think the golden rule is worth your karma, then you go right on doing whatever you've always done. Gosh, oh golly, I'm only suggesting that if you read a poem, you might sit back and let it read you for a change. If you make no sense to it, then you got trouble for sure. Well, trouble is all life is all about. In fact, I think life is only sorrow, nonsense, cause, effect, fortune, misfortune, give and take. Fred takes Annie out to lunch. He's a bit confused. He gives her a flower. Sooner or later they kiss. They date again. They fuck. She thinks he's nice. They marry. Children, and years later, he likes Bill better in bed. It's over. Take 2, take 10, and call me in the morning. Take it on the run. Take yourself a little less seriously for a change. See how good it feels to embrace your humanity, your imperfection. What is there to lose? Word has it, you reap what you sow, which doesn't mean you can be late for work tomorrow. Oh no, we can't have that. Oh no. Thanks. I've never read that in public before. It's not that easy. I'm going to close with this one last thing. I got a book. If you like Buddhist poetry, spiritual stuff, philosophical, and some light stuff too, funny stuff in there, buy my book. It's only $5,000. It's called The Voice. If I spoke from the heart and you could hear, you could ride the sound back to the beginning and see who you truly are. If I spoke from the heart, my tears would be a river running to the sea into an ocean of sweetest water. If I spoke from the heart, my joyful laughter would fill the universe and ring the galaxy like a wind chime. If I spoke from the heart, you would hear my voice call from time past, present, and to come, all our wounded children. It would heal them, every last one of them, and the world, if ever it were, would be whole again. You okay? Thanks.